Hi Nancy, how are you? Are you well? Has it been warm where you are today? It's been very warm here, very warm. It was got up to about 23, 24 today. So yeah, I mean it's hazy now. It's getting a little bit cooler, but it's been a lovely day. Hopefully it has been where you are as well. And I hope you've had a good weekend. Hello, Catherine. Lovely to see you. Yes, it is. You're in Florida. Lovely, Florida. What beautiful place. Australia, 4 a.m. in the morning. Can't you sleep, Tani? It's lovely to see you. Hello, Andrea. Lovely to see you too. Just wait for a couple more people, just a few more people to come on, and then we'll get going. Are you good, Catherine? Are you good, Andrea? And Tani, are you good as well? Oh, right. Okay, Tani. You're in Ireland, Catherine. Oh, do you know, Catherine, me and my husband were watching the golf that was going on today in Ireland. He likes golf. I don't. Yeah. You're welcome, Andrea. Right, okay. So I'm gonna do mini readings. So hopefully 3 or 4 pieces of information and hopefully someone can take it. I'm also may pull cards. I see how I feel. I think most of you know how I work. I see, hear, and feel spirit. I see them in my mind's eye. I can feel how they're feeling, and they say things to me as well, names and things like that. Right. Okay. I am gonna see who my first communicator is. Okay, so I've got a gentleman with me. Hello, Laura. I've got a gentleman with me, and I believe that this gentleman is husband or partner. This man. I believe that this gentleman also would have passed to the spirit world. He would have died of a heart attack. And I feel that it was quite unexpected. I feel 1 minute he was here and then the next minute he wasn't. That's the way I feel about him. This gentleman, he's got a lovely nature. He's got a big grin on his face. I would say he's probably at least 6 foot. He's 6 foot tall. I would say he's quite a good height. Um, and he makes me feel quite cheeky. um yeah, I feel that he was quite a cheeky man. He had a really good sense of humor, and he was quite quick with his humor as well. I feel that he was medium to big build, but I want to say that he was quite a fit man. I want to say he was quite a fit man. um and I also want to say that he was a kind man. He would, his family, and those people around him. Oh, thank you, Tammy. Hi, Dawn. And those people around him, um, were his world. That's what I want to say. Okay, so just a quick recap, just in case anybody hasn't heard that. Gentlemen, I feel it's partner or husband passed the spirit world with a heart attack. I don't think it was expected. 6 foot tall, lovely man, kind, cheeky, and I feel that he would have always have had a smile on his face. He was always quite jokey as well. Um, I want to say he was a man that worked hard, and I feel that he would have worked. I want to say he would have worked outside, maybe something to do. Sounds like your dad, does it, Andrea? I just, would he have, I feel that he was quite I want to say that he would have done building work. Would he have done building work? I can just see him doing things with his hands. And I just feel that he was a sort of a really, really sort of, hard worker. I also want to say about him as well, he liked to be outside. Can you understand that, Andrea? Or can anybody else understand that? You can understand that, Andrea. Okay. Right. Okay. Well, if nobody else can take this, I'm going to work with you then, Andrea. Okay. Because I do feel that I'm drawn with you. And would I be right in saying, Andrea, that you had, Corey could be my husband, heart trouble, but not heart attack. Yes. Building work. No, I do feel, Corey, that it was definitely a heart attack. So Andrea, I do feel that I'm with you, Andrea. So I'm gonna go with you, Andrea. Okay. So I want to say, Andrea, that you and your father would have had a really close bond, because maybe that's why I thought it was partner, because the bond I feel was a really you and your dad were like two peas in a pod. Would you understand that with Andrea? Yeah, heart attack. Yeah, but would you understand that? I feel like you were two peas in a pod. All right. I just feel like you and your dad just had this like bond, and I want to say you would bounce off each other. And I got to say, as a child, Andrea, I feel that your father, he would have had you in fits of giggles, fits of giggles. He was just that type. He was just that type of man. He was um, right. This is what I'm seeing. So I'm going to give this to you. So, like when I feel like he would be a man where you'd be sitting on the sofa and he would go in for the tickle. Do you know what I mean? He would just go in for the tickle, and he would have you laughing so much, and sort of like begging him to stop, but he wouldn't. That was just the way he was. And he loved, he was oh, how can I say this, he was really invested um in his family, really invested in them. He was interested in what you had to say. He was interested in what you had to do. And I do feel that when time was spent together at the weekends or on holidays, it was really, it was fun times. You would always do fun things. They didn't have to cost a lot of money, but they were always fun things to do. All right. I do see you. Yes, to tickle. Thank you. I do see you. I want to say at the beach, at the seaside, because I can see you. I've got an image of him and everyone walking along the prom, so to speak, where you would have all the shops with the candy floss and the donuts and things like that. And I do believe, would you understand with your dad that he had quite a sweet tooth? That's what I want to say about him. He would have liked his candy floss, I feel. I love candy floss, but I feel he would have liked his candy floss. Now, I've got the names Brian, and I've got the name David as well, and I've got the name Albert. So Brian, David, and Albert, I want to give you. Don't know if you can take any of those names. And I also want to give you the month of April. And I want to give you about the third week in April for an anniversary or a passing, Andrea. I feel it's towards the end of the month. So the third week-ish, something like that. Yes to names. Lovely. Thank you, Andrea. Right. Okay. I also want to say about your dad that he loved his creature comforts. He loved his creature comforts. And I feel that he was looked after. You know, he loved to be sitting there, you know, in his, I think, would he have worn slippers? But just sitting there with the family on the sofa. You know, he loved a good meal, I have to say. He loved his food. And I feel he was a really sociable man as well. He was really quite sociable. Right, I'm going to go to the reason why he's come through, Andrea, to see you tonight. Lovely man, lovely man. Sorry, excuse me. Right. Okay. So your father, Andrea. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Thank you for confirming that. Your father, Andrea, comes through with an enormous amount of love. Okay. What he wants to say is that he was always there for you. Okay. And he said that you were always there for him. There was that bond between you. He also wants to say that he was blessed. He was blessed with his life. He was blessed with his family, and he was blessed with you. Okay. He also wants to say to you, Andrea, that even though he is not here on the earth plane now, he is always looking out for you. And I do feel that you feel your father around you. I do feel that with you. And I be right in saying that you do talk to your dad as well, because I feel that. And what your dad is saying is that, you know, even though I'm not there to give you that human hug, he's saying, I am always there to love and to support you in your times of need. Okay. He wants to say also that he wants to say also, I don't know if you can understand this, how very brave you have been over the years. Okay. And he couldn't be more proud of you and of the resilience that you have shown. He wants to say to you, keep shining your beautiful light, because you make a difference to those around you, and to these people in the world today. And he just wants you to know that whatever struggles you have, you always manage to overcome them and to grow stronger, he's saying. And you always have a smile. You always have a smile. And he's saying, you may not feel as though you are strong sometimes, but you are. Okay? That's what he wants to say to me. You are. Now, he's given me a gift to give to you, and I hope this means something to you. He's given me one of those Kiss Me Quick hats, you know, the black hats with Kiss Me Quick on the top and a little bit of elastic underneath. All right. And I want to send all of his love to you, and for you to know that he is always there. Okay. Lovely. Thank you, Andrea. Lovely man. Right. Let me see. Right. I'm going to pull a card, I think. And I'm going to pull a card. Oh, I'm going to pull a card for, where are you gone? June. I'm sorry if I say your surname wrong, June. June Pin. Yeah, I think I've said that wrong. But if you could just say hello, just so that I know. You had one of those hats, Andrea. Brilliant. Brilliant. Right, okay, let's pull a card for you, June. Right, June. Thank you, Andrea. Bless you. Okay, June. So the card I've got for you is they're angel cards that I use. And they've got pictures and words. So I'm going to turn the card round, show you. Pinot, lovely, June. Thank you. As most of you know on here, I'm not great at showing cards, but we can but try. So this card is a card, and it's called Reward Yourself. Okay, and it is a card of a angel child, and I think she's sitting on a hilltop, because she's got the beautiful blue sea or green sea at the back of her, and she's dressed in pink, and she has beautiful purple wings, June. And they're all very spiritual colors. So I'm going to read this card, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so you've been given a lot of yourself lately, and it's time for you to receive. Okay, make the time to reward yourself in a meaningful way. This balance of giving and receiving is essential to keeping your energy, mood, and motivation at a consistently high level. Right, okay, June. So what this card is saying to me is that I feel with you that you are someone who gives a lot of yourself. I want to say that you're someone who is quite selfless. You put others first before you put yourself. I feel with you. I feel with you also that you're someone who likes to make sure that everybody is happy, and everybody is positive. And I do feel that you are the type of lady that gives a lot of yourself. Okay. I don't know if you can understand that, June, or not. I also want to say about this card as well that I feel that you give more than you receive. And I don't mean that in a way that people don't give back to you, but what I do mean is that because you give a lot, I feel that it takes it out of you, because I don't feel with you that you give yourself the rewards and the credit that you deserve. So and would I be right in saying, June, that sometimes you can be a little bit critical of yourself? I don't know if you can understand that or not, June. But I do believe that there's not that at the moment. I feel right. Okay. Thank you, June. At the moment, I feel that it's not level. There's more of this than there is of that. There's not a balance with you. Okay. And I want to say, when I say about being critical of yourself, I do feel with you sometimes that you're overcritical with yourself. What you said you're going through is not a nice thing, but I feel with you that your confidence has dipped slightly within yourself. And I want to say, June, that you're being overcritical of yourself. Okay, you are you, all right, and you is good enough. Okay. I feel that instead of sort of taking the situation, you need to say to yourself, I am good. I am good enough. And also as well, June, I feel that, you can rise above this. I really do. I really do, because I feel that you do have that strength within you, and you need to start validating yourself, okay? And you need to start believing in yourself again, because you have it all there. This card is a very positive card, okay, June? It's saying that all you need to do is to get that balance right. Don't be so hard on yourself, okay? And give yourself a pat on the back, and give yourself time. I feel also as well with you at the moment, June, that it's quite draining, and I want to say I feel that it's quite hard sometimes for you, because it's just all time consuming. But you need to just take a moment, okay, and believe in yourself, and believe that you are right, okay, and believe that you can stand up for yourself. All right, okay, so that's what I want to say with that card. It is a positive card. You will get that balance right. You just need to start believing in yourself again, June. Okay, that's what I want to say to you. So I hope that's helped slightly. Right, I am going to go back to the spirit world. Just bear with me. Right, let's see who we've got. Right, okay. I believe that I have another gentleman with me. Now, I believe that this gentleman is father. This gentleman, he makes me feel, he really makes me feel, he was very sure of himself, this gentleman. He was very sure of himself. And I want to say this gentleman, again, he was about 5'10" to 6 foot. But I want to say that he was quite a good looking man. He had a good looking face about him. And he would always be well dressed. He liked to take pride in his appearance. Okay. I always feel he would have been smart. Even if he was going to work, he would feel smart. I feel as though with this gentleman that he was a bit of I want to say Jack the Lad, a bit of a wheeler dealer, a bit of an Arthur Daly. That's what I want to say about him. As far as being dressed, he would look good in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. He would look good in a suit. And I want to say as well, your ex-husband, Linda, your granddad, Sharon, okay, I want to say as well with this gentleman that I do feel he would have worn a gold chain as well. And I feel he would have had a nice watch as well. But as I said, he was a cheeky man. He could talk the hind leg off a donkey. Right, okay, so Linda, your ex-husband, can you understand everything that I've said? And Ara, can you understand everything that I've said? And I want to say he was a jack of all trades, masters, not masters of none, but he had his hands in a lot of pies. That's what I want to say. And would you? Yeah, you can, Linda. Would you say, Linda, that although he was your ex-husband, would you say that he was, you still got on. So I want to say that you would have still got on, even after the end of the marriage. That's what I want to say about him, because he was someone that could just. He was someone who could, yeah. He just had this thing about him. So Ara, you say like your dad exactly, right? Okay, right. Who am I with? I feel that I'm with you, Linda. So keep listening, Ara, but I do feel that I'm with you, Linda. So I'm gonna work with you, Linda, okay, if I can. Right, okay, so this gentleman, he would have swept you off your feet. That's what I want to say. He was like he was just like dynamite. He was like silk. He had the gift of the gab. The gift of the gab. He could charm the hind legs off a donkey. If you've ever heard that saying, I can't. My dad used to say that. But yeah, he did. He would have come in and he would have just swept you off of your feet. I also want to say about him as well that he had so many plans. And what I want to say was he would always have so many things going on, and so many things that were going to happen. I also want to say with him, Linda, as well, he was someone who was very positive. Okay. But I feel also as well with him that sometimes he could have been a bit of a dreamer. So I think with him, he would have dreamt big, okay, but not all of it always came off. He didn't stop. And what I want to say, Linda, is in the relationship, I feel that you would have been the grounding force. He was the one. He was the one who had all these ideas, and he was going to do all of this, but you were the one that was the grounding person in that relationship. He had a really kind heart as well. He had a really kind heart, and he would always. He never hurt somebody on purpose. But I feel with him sometimes, because he was on the go all of the times, I just feel sometimes sometimes people were collateral damage with him. I feel he was very popular, and I feel that he could hold an audience as well. If he was in the pub, or he was out, or you were out, he could hold a crowd. He could tell a tale. And I feel that he could crack a joke as well. Sorry, he's making me laugh. He's making me laugh. He would be the sort of person that would have me in fits and giggles, I feel. And I've got to say, men and ladies loved him. There wasn't many people that didn't. I have to say that there wasn't many people that didn't like him. And sometimes, what I want to say to you, if you can understand this with him, but sometimes, he would start off, and you could be, oh, how can I explain it? He could turn a conversation around, Linda. So if he was trying to sell something, whatever it was, whether it was, I don't literally mean sell something, but if he was trying to sell something, he could start, and the people or the person that he was talking to would be like, no, I'm not interested. And by the end of the conversation, they would be eaten out of his hands. That's what I feel with him as well. I don't know if you can understand that. Saying that, he was there, and he brought home the bacon. He provided for his family, as best as he could. All right. I do feel with him sometimes that he could because he was so full of energy, I feel sometimes, Linda, that he could be a bit much. So, sometimes you could just not be in the mood with him, if you get my drift. And sometimes he was quite, and he's saying he knew this, sometimes he was quite exasperating. Sometimes you'd feel like you just wanted to shake him, but he was he was just someone that sorry, I'm laughing, but he was just someone that you just couldn't stop him. And I do, as I said earlier, I do feel that he liked to take care of himself. And I don't know if I said this earlier, but I feel like he would have been one of those men that would have had the old aftershave on. If you went near him, he would always smell lovely. That I can just, I don't know what I can smell. My dad used to wear, Old Spice or Fabergé or something like that. And he was, but I can smell, aftershave. So I feel that he would have worn that as well. There wasn't many times, I don't feel, with him when he would have been down. There's very little times where he was quiet. But I just feel with him, he just made the most of his life, really. I want to say also, at points to the detriment of others. I will say that about him. Sometimes, as I said, he could be really exasperating. But he had a good heart and he was kind, and he never did anything with malice. And if he did do something wrong, he would regret it. And he would say sorry. He would own up if he'd been, I'm not going to say what he's just said, but he would own up if he had been a bit of a, yeah, right, okay. I want to give you the names: Alistair, Neil, and Brian again. Alistair, Neil, and Brian. I want to give you those three names. I also want to give you the month of January. I want to give you the second week of January for an anniversary or a passing. Second or third week of January for an anniversary or a passing. I don't know if you can understand that. Right, I'm going to go. I'm not going to tell you what he said, Linda, because I'm online. You can imagine what he said. Yeah, I'll leave that. Anyway, I'm going to go to the reason why he's come through to see you today. All right. Okay, so again, he has come. You can't take any of those names, right? Okay, then. He has come through with, again, an enormous amount of love, and he comes through, with a blast, I have to say. He's got a bit that he wants to say to you, Linda. First of all, what he wants to say, Linda, is that you were a diamond. You were his greatest love, I want to say. You were someone who he's saying put up with him and his ways. You loved him fiercely and he you. He's saying we had so many laughs and a lot of tears along the way. But what he wants to say is that he always appreciated you, even though at times he did not show it. He also wants to say as well, Linda, that right, okay. He also wants to say that losing you hurt, or losing each other hurt. He also wants to apologize, okay, for the hurt that he would have caused you. I don't know if you can understand. I'm just relaying what he's saying to me, okay? But he said from that, there was still that love, that mutual love and respect, Linda, okay? He wants to say that you are amazing. You always were. You always kept him grounded, is what he's saying. And he wants to say that he wants you to know that, you know, he loved you for all time. And I do believe he said, he's also saying as well, that bond that you had was never broken. All right. He's also coming through with some healing for you, Linda. I don't know if you've been feeling a little bit under the weather or you've been working too hard, but I feel that he's coming through with some healing for you to give you a boost. Okay, to give you a boost. He's saying that he does watch over you. You know, he's very interested in your life. And yeah, he's just bringing this healing through for you. All right. So I'm going to leave this love with you, Linda, and say thank you very much for working with me. All right. Right. Shall we do another card? Right. Okay. Well, he's sending you that healing, Linda. So hopefully, and I will send you healing too. So hopefully you'll start to feel better soon. Right. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to do another card. And I'm going to do a card for Mary Kershaw. So Mary Kershaw, I'm going to pull a card for you. Okay. If you could just say hello, just acknowledge that you've heard me. Right. Let's see what we've got. Right. Okay. So the card that I've got for you, Mary, is a card called Trustworthy Guidance. All right. So this card is hello, Mary. This card is of a gentleman. He is at a board and he is writing. Okay. And he has an angel over his shoulder. I think it's a female angel. I don't know if he's drawing. He might be actually drawing, but he has a female angel over his shoulder. Okay, and I'll read what the card says and we'll go from there. So, trustworthy guidance. You've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. The idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it, knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything that you need related to this idea. So, Mary, have you been recently thinking of doing something different or going in a different direction? Would you understand that? Because what I feel with this card is that I feel that there's going to be some sort of change around you, sort of in the not too distant future. And I feel as though, no, right, okay, so that's wrong then. You've not been thinking about doing something differently at all. There's not been a situation where you feel as though you want to do something differently at all, Mary? Because what this card is saying to me is that you need to go with you need to follow your instincts, and you need to go with your gut, Mary. That's what I want to say. I just feel with you that you've been thinking about something. You've been contesting a will. Right, okay. So would you understand then with this situation that you obviously there's conflict because you're contesting, but would you understand that you've been given some advice? If you haven't been given some advice about this will, this is also saying as well that you need to trust your gut and to go with what you want, and to trust that as well. This is coming out very bitty. To trust your own instincts, okay? To do that, to trust your own instincts, and also as well to if you've been given some advice, then that advice is trustworthy. That's what I want to say to you. But stand your ground as well. Okay, Mary? Stand your ground, because I believe that what you're doing for the right reasons. Okay? So I'm going to leave that with you, but you literally need to just trust your own judgment, okay? And stick to your guns. Right, okay. Right, okay. Moving on, I am going to go back to the spirit world. Let me see who I've got with me. Right. Okay, I have got a gentleman with me, and I feel as though this gentleman, he's either brother or he's like a brother. So there's that close connection. Okay. This gentleman would have passed to the spirit world. He didn't make old bones. That's what I want to say. He didn't make old bones. I feel that he would have passed to the spirit world in his, I want to say in his late 20s, early 30s. Okay. He wasn't old when he passed the spirit world. I want to say with this gentleman as well, I feel with this gentleman that he was he was probably between 5'10" to 5'12", something like that. Your brother passed away when he was 33, did he, Kristen? Okay. Would you I'm just going to give a little bit more information about this young man, okay? So this gentleman, this young man, he was never really a one for he dressed in, typical jeans, t-shirt, like that. But he was also, I want to say, and this is very important, I want to say with this young man that he was a sensitive soul. Okay, he was a really sensitive soul. He felt a lot of things, is what I want to say. And I also want to say as well that he would have been, when he was with people that were around him that he knew, he was, is he tall, Sharon? He was between 5'10" to 5'12", I want to say. But he was a very sensitive soul, okay? And I feel he was quite a shy one as well. When he was with people that he knew, he was fine, but I feel that he struggled to, he didn't have the best skills for going out and meeting people. Kristen, can you understand that with him? Can you understand that about the fact that he was a very sensitive soul? And, you know, he was quite a shy man, and, you know, he struggled a little bit. That's what I want to say. Just Kirsten, can you just confirm that you can understand what I've said about his personality? Yeah, right, okay. I do feel that I'm with you, Kristen, but don't tell me anything else, please. Let me paint a picture to you. To everybody else, please listen, but I do feel that I'm with Kirsten. Okay, so I'm going to work with you, Kirsten, with this young man. As I said, he was a very sensitive soul, but he was also a very kind man as well. You know, he had that ability with him to he just had that, oh, how can I put it? He just had that kindness about him. He just wanted to please. Okay, he wanted to please, and he also was desperate for people to accept him. And what I want to say, Kirsten, is that you accepted him for who he was. You accepted him unconditionally. You know, you loved him. He struggled, as you have said yourself. I feel that he struggled with himself, and he didn't have a very high opinion of himself. It is what I feel. And even though, you know, he had friends, and he was very kind, he would do anything to anybody, and he could light up a room, and he was a good brother. He was a good brother, but he just couldn't seem to get past the fact that he never quite felt that he was good enough, and he never quite felt that he would fit in. You, I want to say, and him you had a lot of laughs together. You know, when he was with people that made him feel comfortable, he could be, you know, so enlightening. And to see him laugh, and to see him smile, and to see him crack a joke, it was wonderful for you. It was everything. And in those moments, he would have the best time. Would you understand that you and him would have watched films together? I can see you sitting together on a sofa. There was nothing better. You like nothing better than to sit there and watch a movie with some munchies, is what I want to say. With some munchies. I don't mean munchies the crisps. I just mean munchies in general. You didn't have to do a lot to have a laugh, you know. just being in each other's company, that was good. That was fun. And you always tried to be there for him. I have to say, you really were. And you were the person who would pick him up, when he was a little bit down, because right, thank you. He'd call them munchies. That's why I said munchies then. Yeah. And he could be really funny. He really could be funny. But then with him, he would have his days when I feel that he would have found it hard just to get out of bed. It was hard for him to get up. And those days were hard for him, but they were also hard for everybody around him, because everybody loved him and wanted him to feel good, but he just didn't. And he just couldn't seem to get past that. And, no matter what anybody said or did, he just couldn't move past that. Okay. Now I'm going to go. Oh, no, just hang on a minute. I don't know if you can take this name. I've got the name David, and I've got the name Michael, and I've got the name George. Okay. And I want to give you the month of November. I don't know when. I normally know when, but I want to give you the month of November for an anniversary or a passing. All right, Kristin? So I'm going to go to the reason why he's come through to see you today. Okay. So he's coming through with an enormous amount of love for you. Okay. But I don't think that was never in, doubt. I have to say, it was never in doubt. Well, if you can't take the names, then, they might come to you, but they were just the names that I was given, and the date in November as well. So firstly, what he wants to say is that he wants you to know, okay, that where he is now, he's at peace. Okay. He's at peace. He wants to also say to you that he's very sorry that he had to go, and he knows that he caused an enormous amount of pain, and for that as well, he's sorry for that. Okay. But what he's saying is that it just became too much for him. Okay. But where he is now, there's so many opportunities for him going forward. Okay. And he is at peace. All right. He is at peace. He also wants to thank you. And he wants to thank you for the support, okay, for the love, okay, for the whole, he's saying, for the whole package of you. While he was on the earth plane and on his good days, okay, he's saying he had the best. You were the best, okay? And you were strong, okay? You were really strong, is what he's saying. He said you were strong for him, and you were strong when he was gone, and you were strong for others as well, those around you. Okay, I wish I could give you what I'm feeling Kirsten. I really do, because I can feel him, and this is said with such love and and it's really heartfelt as well. Okay, he wants to say that he is around you, but you know that he's around you, and he's always watching over you as well. Okay, he also wants to say that, you know, you have grown into, you always were a beautiful woman with a beautiful soul. He said, but your soul has just got bigger and bigger. Okay. And he can't wait to see how you manifest, because I really do feel that you've got a lot more. He's saying you have a lot more to come. All right. You really do have a lot more to come. There's a lot more for you to do, Kirsten. And he's going to be with you all of the way. Okay. He's going to be with you all of the way. Oh, right. Okay. He's given me to give to you. All right. It's a DVD. Okay. It's a DVD. And it's that one. I may not get the title right, but it's the it's that Christmas Lampoon video with Chevy Chase in it and the family, where they have where they have the Christmas and their relatives turn up, and he's just giving that to you and he's laughing. So I hope that you would have maybe watched that one, National Lampoon's Christmas something or other. And there's also that bit, I'm also seeing that bit where the squirrel goes running into the tree. You know, the funny one, you know that, right? That's what he's giving you. Okay, that's a memory, and a lovely memory as well. Okay, so I'm gonna leave his love with you. Okay, and say thank you very much for working with me. As per normal, I've come to the end, so I just want to say thank you everyone for coming on. I will be back soon, and have a lovely week, everyone. Take care. See you all soon. Bye bye.